Hello, beautiful people. In this video, I'll be showing us how to make this stylish and beautiful top you see on the mannequin. The upper part of this blouse is an armhole princess bustier, and the down part from the half length to the hem, it's a one-sided pleated top. It has a one-sided pleat, and the other side is A shape, so you can see. And it also has this beautiful bell sleeves you see that is giving that flamboyant look. In my previous video, I showed us how to draft and cut this lovely outfit. So in this video, we're going to be sewing our pieces together to achieve this beautiful outcome. If you haven't seen the video on how to draft and cut this, I'll be dropping the link in the description box so that you can watch and know how we arrived at this point. So this video is the sewing part. You're welcome to Vab Fashion's YouTube channel. My name is Eunice. So let's get right into the video. Thank you. So I've gone ahead to cut the sleeves. I went ahead to cut Ankara and I cut lining also. So you can see I use the Ankara to laminate the lace. I use my hemming gum to iron them together, that's to stick them together. And this is our lining. Okay, and this is the second one for the second hand. Okay, so now this is what we're going to do for this sleeve. I'm going to place the lining on the right side of the sleeve, and then I'm going to place my hemming gum also at the down part, and then I'll stitch all three of them together. This is so that by the time we flip the lining to the right side, we can iron it and it will just seal up this place and give it that neat finishing. Okay, so I'm going to stitch alongside with my hemming gum, all three of them together. I'll repeat the same thing for the second sleeve. Then I'll come back and show us the next thing to do. So I'm done stitching the base of the sleeve, and this is it. You can see I stitched it alongside with my hemming gum. So now let me show us with this one. And you see that while placing my hemming gum, just stitched at the tip as I shifted my hemming gum inside. So this is my half-inch sewing allowance. So right now, I'll bring in my scissors and trim really close to the hemming gum. That's close to my seam allowance, or to the seam line rather. I'm just going to trim really close. So now that I've trimmed it, can you see? So the next thing we're going to do when we are ironing this, I'll be able to flip it. So by the time I flip it, you can see my hemming gum is here. So it will stick when I'm giving it a very, very nice press. Okay? So for now, the next thing we're going to do, we're going to place this sleeve like this. Right side facing right side. Can you see? Lining is separate, fabric is separate. I'm going to stitch using my sewing allowance. Can you see? I will stitch. I'm going to stitch this way, then bring it down this way, like this. This is so that we can achieve an inseam finishing. This will actually make it neat. Remember that this part of the sleeve is long, so you don't want your seam line showing, you don't want your seam allowance showing at the end, that's sticking out. You want to neatly finish it. So I'll be stitching on this side like this, and then I'll turn it inside out. I'll repeat the same thing for the second sleeve. And here, this is the upper bodice. I've also stitched the upper bodice, you can see, and I've also pressed it really well. So, and I went ahead to join the back and the front together. You can see the shoulders neatly stitched, and everything is coming out really beautiful. I also went ahead to stitch my darts, and this is it. So now the next thing I'm going to do, I will also shape the side of the bustier. I'll stitch it with the sewing allowance I added. So whatever I'm stitching with, you want to make sure that the armhole allows the sleeve to fit into it, because the sleeve is going to be a certain sleeve. So I'm going to go and do all this, and then I'll come back and show us what we have. Okay, so I'm done joining my sleeves, and this is what we have. You can see I stitched the sleeve to the armhole. I'm going to weave it later. Right now I don't have light, so I can't weave it. You can see already. So this is what our bell sleeve is looking like. And see it's coming out really beautiful. So now the next thing we're going to do is to treat the down part. So this side is going to be the side with the pleats, and this is the other side of our skirt. So you can see that my lace, you can see it is slanted. You want to make sure to maintain this slanted, that's you want it to keep slanting all the way to the end here. So the first thing I'm going to do now, I'm going to place the lining. I'll place the lining on the right side of the fabric here. You can see that the lining is about 2 inches shorter than the main fabric. So I'm going to first hem the down part of the flare. Then for the skirt part, this side, I will also place, you can see my lining is also shorter here at this side. I'll also hem this side, as I'll stitch it down here and do the same thing at the down part, and then I'll show us how I'll be joining the two of them together. Okay, so I've joined the lining and the fabric for the one we're going to pleat, and then this is the other side. And see, I've also joined the lining. I've hemmed the down part, so the waistline is still open. So this is what we're going to do, because we're going to be stitching them together this way. So here I'll be doing inseam sewing. You don't want to just stitch it and then you see the joining at the back. So right now I'm going to place the fabric, right side of the fabric facing the right side of the lace here, and place it this way. Okay. So place it right side facing right side. You want to make sure that they align here at the hem. So I'm going to pin it like this. So this is it. And then I'll pin all the way to this part. So you can see I pin fabric to fabric, lining to lining. I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and stitch it. I'll be joining them on half inch all the way from the fabric into the lining like this. So I'm going to come back and then I'll show us how we're going to take care of this shape, because at the down part of this gown, this top, I don't want it to have this straight shape, like straight. It's going to have like an A shape so that it just opens up well. That's what we're trying to achieve. And then these are pleats here. The lace part must align with what we have here. Can you see what I have already? So I'm going to stitch it, then I'll come back and show us how we're going to take care of this difference we have here at the side. So as you can see, I've joined them together. So this is what we have, and this is what it looks like now on the right side. You can see the wrong side is also very neat. My seam lines are in between. So now this is what we're going to do. Take note that I've already shaped the upper part using my sewing allowance. So this is what we're going to do. Place them like this. I'll place it this way to make sure that this slanted shape is aligned. So you can see that this is where my side seam stops. So I'm just going to create a mark there. I'm just going to create a mark here. So this is where my side seam stops. I need my sewing allowance. You want to make sure that the side aligns with the side of the top, that's of the upper part. Please make sure of that. So I'm going to just mark my sewing allowance. 1 inch, 1.5 is okay. So I'll mark it here. So having marked my sewing allowance here, I'm just going to place my ruler and connect it this way. And you see, I'm trying to create an A shape just so that it's not fitted. Just going to blend it into the hip line. I'm using my free hand so that it gives me what I'm looking for. And you see, so it just opens up like this. So I'll go ahead and cut it out. You can see that this A is not too much, because I'll be stitching on 1 inch all the way down, so it will just open up a little like this. So let's trim out here more. So can see how what I have already. So it's just going to give us that opening around here. So this is our back piece. I also stitched the down part. I hem the down part as well. So these are center back. For the center back, all we need to do is to place our lining this way on the right side of the fabric, and then turn the this side, that stitch it on half inch, so we have it turned. But before we do that, for the side, I'm also going to create this shape that I have here, because we'll be joining all three of them together. So you can see that this is the center back, the part that is going to carry the zip allowance. So now let's shift this part away like this. So when we place our center back here, and we turn, I'm going to shift away with half inch, which is for my zip allowance. Can you see that the center back, I haven't placed it here like this. Already what I have here is just my 1 inch that is for sewing allowance. Can you see? We don't need to do that trimming out excess for the back. So this is what we have, and it's giving me what I want. This is it. Let me pin it so that we can see it clearly. So I leave half inch out that I'll be using to turn the center back, and then you can see my sewing allowance here of 1 inch. So you can see, so at the end of the day, the two sides are going to meet. You see, the two sides are going to meet like this. You see, so you can see the shape. So there's this room that is supposed to have around here. It's not supposed to be fitted. Remember that it's going to have a pleat and it just opens up. Okay, so now that we have established the fact that everything is going to be well aligned, so I'm going to take this now to my sewing machine, and then I'll also place the side. So this is our center back and this is the side. So I'll open up the side here. You can see the shape here. This is the side. And then I'll also open up the side on the lining part. That's on this, the front side, and place it this way. Lining facing lining. This is our side here. Lining facing lining. You want to make sure that it aligns here too at the hem. I'll pin it, and then I'll pin here at the lining also, and then I'll do the same thing on this side. Can you see how they align here on the side? So remember I said my sewing allowance I'll be using to stitch them together is 1 inch. So I'm going to take this to my sewing machine and stitch on 1 inch. So let's just go ahead and mark the 1 inch before going to stitch it. So here's my 1 inch, 1 inch. Allowance, so I'll stitch 1 inch all the way to the lining side. After doing that, for the center back, I'm going to place the lining facing the fabric, and then I'll turn the center back, and then I'll come back and show us the next thing to do. Okay, so I'm done joining the sides here. This is what it looks like. Let's keep it this way. So you can see it's giving that A shape. So it's opening more at the down part. You see? And this is what it looks like on the reverse side. You can see everything is neat. My joinings are not showing. So now the next thing we're going to do is to place there. That's to pin it to the waistline. Okay? So here, like I said, you want to make sure that the center, that's the seam allowance, is aligned. So I'm going to place this one right side facing right side. So you want to align the seam lines. Make sure that you are aligning the seam lines. So I'll place this right side facing right side and aligning the seam lines here, and then I'll pin. So, and then once I pin, you can see that here too will align the center back here also. and see it's aligned as well. I'll pin it to align. So this point where we have our lace, you want to make sure that it's also aligned. So let's place it like this. So you can see all my points are aligned. So this is what our gown looks like. You can see all the points are aligned. So now we want to create our pleats, and I want the pleat to go this way towards the right. It's knife pleat, we're going to create it towards the right. So I'm going to flip it right side facing right side, and then we'll begin to pleat. So for the pleat to go towards the right, now that I am on the wrong side, I'm going to pleat it this way. You see, I'm going to push it back like this. And for the pleats, I'm going to have 1.5 inches for the pleats. So just eyeball it and create your pleats. So let's measure the pleats. So I have 1.5 inches, which is fine. So I'll pleat it. So I'll also take it backwards like this. So you can see that the pleat is going towards this side. Can you see? It's going towards this side. So you want to make sure that it is facing the direction you want it to face. You see, it's going towards this side. So I'll keep doing the same thing till I get to this edge. Okay, so I'm done pleating the down part and I've stitched it. I've gone ahead to weave it and then I went ahead to iron it, and see how our pleat is coming out well. And see our top is almost ready. Let me show us the inside. See, this is what it looks like on the inside. Everything is coming out really neat. So now the next thing we're going to do is to place this applique on the neckline. So one is longer than the other. The longer one is the one I'll be using on this side. So I just got this from the market. It just looks like what is on the thumbnail. So I'll be making use of this. So here I'm going to place this applique this way. You want to follow this shape. I'll place it this way. I want the scallop part of the applique to sit on the neckline area. So I'm going to pin first. We'll be cutting out this part, but that's why I'm extending it this way so that the other side can overlap on it. So I'll secure it with my pin. Then you want to start taking it round. You see? So right now at this point, I'm going to just pin a little. So I'll take it round like this. So here, I'm going to bring it this way. And you see? Can you see that if I keep taking it this way, it will not go round like this. So I'm just going to create like a pleat so that it can allow me. This is just to give it this curved shape. I'll be trimming out this part. And you see? So this is me just trying to make sure that it gives the desired shape. That's to go around the neckline. So here, I'm going to pin this as well. So at this point, and see now it has to turn. So it can't turn easily like that. So I'm going to also create like a pleat here that we're going to be trimming out as well. You see? So then I'll pin also. I'll pin this as well here like this. Okay, so here we are. This is the final outcome of our blouse, and it came out really beautiful. As you can see, I'm done stitching the trimming all the way down to the hem of the blouse. And I also went ahead to stitch the zipper to the center back. And this is what our top looks like, or our blouse looks like. It came out really beautiful. Actually, I enjoyed making this blouse. I hope you enjoyed watching this video and you learned something. If you did, please make sure to like this video, share this video with your friends, and do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Ensure to put on your notification bell so you receive a notification every time I upload a new video. Thank you so much for watching. See you in my next video. Bye.